extremely destructive in their attitude, and where you have seen, you know what is an atom bomb? You should know about atom bomb also. The water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, whereas oil boils at 160 degrees Celsius. The lead melts at 450 degrees Celsius. The gold melts at 600 degrees Celsius. Iron melts at 900 degrees Celsius or 1100 degrees Celsius. And in one atom bomb, the temperature goes beyond 7,500 degrees Celsius. So you can imagine amount of destructive power the atom bomb can have. So they used these two atom bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the whole world was shocked, where the people just didn't know when they got burnt. So सब जल गए, that's it. They became ashes within few seconds because the temperature in the atom bomb was 7,500 degrees Celsius. So this type of destructive power, it was not a regular warfare, but these Americans can be very destructive when it comes to talking about the power or talking about the world power. They want to be the world power, and they can be very, very destructive. So they're more of a syphilitic kind. And then the third world countries, including the Arab nations and of course India, this part of the countries, the third world countries, they used to say we are psychotics. So I asked a lot of times, like a couple of times, I asked him what does he mean by we are psychotics, and he said that we are the people, though we have a very rich cultural background, we have a lot of old structures, we have this routine family structure, we have a very strong marriage structure, everything is there, but we are number one psychotics because we believe in caste, we believe in religion, believe more in caste, more in religion, more in language, more in region, more in our own city, and all these things. Whereas we don't fight for our rights, like when we do Anna Vastra Nivara, that is when you don't have proper food, we don't fight for our rights with the government for the proper food. Vastra is if you don't have proper clothing, we don't fight with the government. If you don't have proper shelter, we are not bothered about it. But if some statue in the city is applied, तो किसी ने गंदगी लगा दी, so then there is a religious riot and people start killing people. The human beings start killing human beings. So you always say we are the number one psychotics in the world because we got fixed ideas. We have got fixed ideas. The ideas which are not there. We don't talk about our rights because we pay taxes to the government. We don't talk about rights, but yes, we are more interested in the religious disharmony, and we a human being is killing a human being just for the sake of the religion, caste, or some region, and so on. So here, do we really love our country? He said, no. We love our religion, we love our caste, we love our language, we love our region. So that's why he always used to say that in the whole India is on psychotic miasm because we have got a lot of fixed ideas. We have got a lot of fixed ideas. Whenever we talk about a particular caste, we say ये जात का है तो इसका habits ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. ये religion का है तो ये must be like this. So we have a lot of fixed ideas with us, and we do practice those fixed ideas, whereas it can be very dangerous to our growth of our country. But we don't bother about it. We only think about what we think about. We only consider what we think about. So that's why I said Thuja is a remedy with a lot of fixed ideas. Now, when I say it is a constructive miasm, one of them is the fixed ideas in Thuja, where he will go around with a lot of fixed ideas. As I have given you a few examples. It might be of the religion, it might be of the caste, it might be about the region, whatever it is, what we say, when we say regional problem, that is when we talk about the state, like we have seen couple of times, whenever North Indians come to Mumbai, we say they are per prantiya. Why Parprantiya? As far as they are Indians, but we call them Parprantiya. So these are all our fixed ideas we are living with, and this is a typical cases of you will come across the mentals of Thuja, where a person lives with fixed ideas, and this is I have given you an example. See, I'm not criticizing on any political party here, but we are talking about the mentality of the Indians, and when we talk about mentality of the Indians, it does suit the mentalities of psychotic miasm. Then another fixed idea Thuja has that there is a live child in the abdomen, and we call it the pseudo pregnancy. The pseudo pregnancy, the abdomen keeps on growing, and there's a feels that there's a live child in the abdomen, and or there's a live animal in the abdomen, and this type of a fixed idea, uh, which we call it the pseudo pregnancy, and she may have, she may feel there's a child moving inside the abdomen. Another fixed idea where we come across during the text says that, well, he feels one limb is made of wood and the other limb is made of glass. Now, what do you mean by that? When we talk about one limb made of wood, that means the limb becomes very, very heavy. And then he has to literally take a lot of effort to lift that limb up and step up. And the second is made of glass. That means it is very delicate. So he puts it very slowly when he walks, because he feels that if he puts the limb firmly, it will break and he may fall down. So that is the idea of one limb made of glass and one limb made of wood. Now another thing which I said that it is a constructive miasm, where I'll give an example of a colonel's wife. Again, I'm not revealing any identity here. This lady, she was. I used to go to their house because I was quite friendly to the colonel, and you all must be very well aware that I'm giving free service to the army camp in Kolhapur for last 14 years. So I used to go to their house regularly for parties or maybe for some outings, and we were very friendly. So this lady had three daughters. They were all very pretty, and this lady also must have been a very pretty lady during her younger days. So this lady had developed a lot of hair on her face. So she was developing all this green color on the face, such a fair and pretty looking lady, and she had developed hair on her face. So when one day, while I asked her confidentially, I said, Bhabi, what's your problem? She said that, well, I'm counting my last days. I said, what has happened? She said that I am diagnosed with CA, cancer of the pituitary. Now, pituitary gland is situated right at the base. It is situated right at the base of the brain. And those days, we didn't have proper uh, radiotherapy to target the gland and kill the cancer. So he had developed a cancer of the pituitary, and where this extra growth of hair was coming on, and she was quite embarrassed to come out. She never came out of the house. Whenever I used to be in the house, she used to tell me that I feel very embarrassed, and then she used to do this bleaching and plucking and all this stuff. But that was not helping her basically, because they kept on coming. So husband and the daughters, they all knew that the mother has got very less time, because anytime the cancer was going to spread. So I said, why not take a chance? As it is, she is, she will be dying. So why not give some homeopathy also? So I had only one symptom. I think I had two symptoms. One was excessive growth of hair on unwanted places. This is an unwanted place. For a woman, it is unwanted. For a man, yeah, the beard looks very good, of course. But for a woman, it is hair on unwanted places. So this is again constructive miasm. When you don't want, you get it. When you don't want it there, you get it. So that's a constructive miasm. And second symptom was she was putting on weight. So that was the second symptom. So only two symptoms, having two symptoms. Of course, I didn't go here taking more case history, because she was quite embarrassed about that condition. So I gave her Thuja. I think I gave her Thuja 30 for 1 month. So after 1 month, she said that the hair growth has reduced and she was quite happy about it. Also, she was losing a bit of weight also. So that was an excellent uh, that I think that was an excellent result I was getting. And after 6 months, when the CT scan was done again, believe me, the cancer had disappeared. The cancer had disappeared. That's it. She never had cancer, and she lived. She still lives. Her husband died recently, like 5 years back, uh, because of old age, of course, because he was retired then. And she still lives with her children are married, and she's still alive. So that was again a accidental result which I got because I never thought that I'm going to cure the cancer. I was treating her symptoms, and the symptoms were hair on unwanted places. So this hair which were growing on unwanted places like the lips and the face, for a woman it is very embarrassing because she can tolerate anything except this type of because she's so much aware of uh, her cosmetics because the cosmetic looks are more aware here, and then she feels extremely embarrassed if someone notices that there's a lot of hair on the face. Another case again, but this time it was very well planned before I gave this medicine. There was one girl in one of my students, very senior. I mean, I'm talking about almost 30 years back. She was about to get married, a very pretty girl. Then one day she came to my clinic and said that, sir, I have got an embarrassing problem. I said, what? She said, I have to pluck my hair off my upper lip. I keep on plucking my hair. They hurt. But then I'm getting married, and then I don't want my husband to realize that I pluck my hair. So now here I had a clear-cut clue because I had treated this colonel's wife earlier. So I said, why not? Why not try here also Thuja? And when I tried Thuja, after 1 month's time, she said that she was so happy that her hair growth had stopped and she was happily married and she's still happily married, I think. So here, this Thuja, when we talk about Thuja, you'll realize that it gives you something which you don't want, and you, it can give you it doesn't give you something which you want. Like some people, now remember one thing, my dear friends, Thuja has got a direct action on the gonads. It has got a direct action on the gonads. Gonads are the sexual endocrines. It might be testes, the ovaries. So here it has got direct action on the gonads, and some boys, when they come of the age, when they become mature, or they say they cross their puberty, still they don't develop facial hair. So this is again तुझा जो आपको चाहिए वो देता नहीं है, and जो नहीं चाहिए वो दे देता है. So that's why they say Thuja has got a very peculiar complaints, and it is a very interesting remedy. It is a very interesting remedy to study because जो आपको चाहिए वो देता नहीं है और जो आपको नहीं चाहिए वो दे देता है. That is the typical of Thuja, like the sweat on uncovered part. ये क्या बात है? This is the very symptom of Thuja. There are peculiar complaints where the sweat is only on the unwanted, uncovered part. Actually, covered part is more warmer, so it should sweat more. But whereas if you wear a shirt, you'll find a Thuja patient who complain of sweating on the exposed part, whereas in the covered part, it doesn't sweat. Now, another question, another symptom of Thuja, a peculiar complaint of Thuja is, remember, that is the sweat smells sweet. Sweet smelling sweat. My God. So it smells like a halwai probably. So it is sweet smelling sweat, and this is again a peculiar complaint of Thuja where the sweat has got a peculiar smell and it is more of a sweet smelling smell. Then where I have found Thuja was very interesting is again one of the things which we look at is psoriasis. Now, psoriasis is what? Psoriasis, remember one thing, my dear friends. Whenever you see a snake, when he sheds his skin, we in Marathi we call it kat takne, kat taktu, sap kat taktu. So that is, this process is from every 20 to 25 days. So the skin just comes out, this dead skin just comes out within 20 to 25 days, and the skin, the snake regains the luster again. So dead skin comes out at a single time, at a single time. Whereas what we call the mud in Marathi, mud of the skin, when we rub it with something, and this that mud comes, we say that there's a lot of dirt on my body. It is not the dirt, it is the dead skin which is coming out. That's why there's, as per the mythology, I'm repeating it, as per the mythology, Parvati made Ganpati out of her mud. That is her own her own DNA, her dead skin. When she was having a bath and she was cleaning herself, so whatever the mud she removed, she made Ganpati out of that, and it was a part and parcel of Parvati herself. So here, well, we are not going into the details of the mythology, but here the this skin which we also shed, it is between 40 to 45 days. Every cell which our skin is getting comes out within 40 to 45 days, but it doesn't come out at a single time. It doesn't come out every single day. Every cell, not like a snake where the whole skin is shed at a time. Here it is in parts. This part will shed today, this part will shed tomorrow, this part will shed the day after, and so on. So at a single time, not all the skin is shed, but the the skin is shed every 40 to 45 days, different places at different time. That's why whenever, every day, even if you rub our body, you'll find the mud coming out. That is nothing but a dead skin. In case you lock yourself in the room with an AC and nothing there, no no windows, even though after 2 days, if you after 2 days, if you try to clean the room, you'll find, if you try to clean the room, you'll find that there is there's a lot of dust in the room. This dust is nothing but your dead skin, your dead skin. So now, what happens in psoriasis? Psoriasis, the skin multiplies every 2 days, 3 days. The skin multiplies every 2 days, 3 days, and there are scales on the body. And when we remove the scales, there is a slight relief, but again there are scales in the body. So what is this? It is nothing but constructive miasm, where it is giving you skin, it is giving you skin when you don't want. The multiplication of the skin is going on with something which you don't want. So here we think of Thuja and psoriasis also. The Thuja is a typical left-sided remedy, and whenever there are enlargement of certain glands, like the other day, like 1 month back, my friend came to me. He said he had folk urination. His urination was folk. So when he got his investigation done up, they said your prostate is almost 64. So he said your prostate is enlarged, and that's why the urination is folk. So he came to me. He said that the doctor says that you better get your prostatectomy done up, to remove the prostate. I said, you have any problem with the urination? Does the urine stop? He says no. Is it blocking? He says no. But it is a folk urination. There are two streams in the urine. The one is falling down and one is going straight. So this was because of the enlargement of prostate, and I gave him Thuja. So today he has a clean one single stream in his urination, and the size of the prostate is also much less. Size of the prostate is also much less. So this is whenever, as I told you, whenever something happens which you don't want, it gives you something which you don't want. Then one more thing, you should remember, is something called tinea versicolor. Tinea versicolor in Marathi we call it. Um, what do you call it? I remember the word. In Marathi we call it. Tinea versicolor is the dryness of the skin. The skin becomes dry, and then if you rub the skin, it just falls down like a powder. Tinea versicolor काय म्हणतात मराठी? Huh? Karuz नाही. Not Karuz. Tinea versicolor. Uh, what is there's a particular name in Marathi. Anyway, so this the skin just falls out. It's small like rice bran. Rice bran. It falls out like a rice bran. Now here in Thuja again, the peculiar complaint of tinea versicolor. It is always under the covered parts. Wherever the part is exposed, you don't have any problem. If the skin problem is under the covered part and no skin problem on the exposed part, again it is a typical symptom of Thuja, where no part is on the no skin problem is on the exposed part, whereas there is a skin problem under the covered part. So a tinea versicolor patient will always have skin problems under the covered part. You'll never find it on the exposed part of the body. There's no skin problem on the exposed part, whereas under the covered part. Then thickening of the nails also.
Night.
Hello?
Naita, sir. Tinea versicolor means in Marathi.
No. I'll tell you what it is. It is known as, I just remembered that word and suddenly you said something. I'll tell you, we call it, I'll remember it again. Wait. Yeah. So it is, it is a whitish dry. It looks whitish and dry. It is not exactly, it doesn't itch much, but it is quite irritating because whenever you sweat, there is a slight irritation there. And this irritation, and whenever, but it's always under the covered part. You'll never find it in the exposed part. Yeah. And then here, the skin, sometimes the nails also they become thick. The nails also become thick, and then we call somebody. If you ask him why the nails are so thick, and there is a lame excuse that when he was a small child, some parrot bit him there, and then the nail has become like a parrot. They hang nails or something like that. So here nails also become thick, and then whenever the thickening of the nails, one of the remedies like silicia, then antimpurur, one of the remedies should be Thuja. Then, well, we are talking about quite a general part. I have once said one patient I had who used to have pain in one lady used to have pain in the left ovary. Now, this pain in the left ovary is always used to extend down in the left lower limb. Left ovary, pain in the left ovary is to extend down to the left lower limb. And I was quite stunned. I mean, I never knew what this symptom is. When extending to the left lower limb from the left ovary, I gave this patient Thuja and the pain just disappeared. So, surma, that's right. The word is surma. It is not Naita, it is Surma, tinea versicolor. So here it is Surma. Yes, that's right. So here it is always under the skin. Then this lady had pain in the left ovary and this come out. Then we have, well, all these glands, all these tumors, all these warts. Of course, that's a very common thing because every student of mine or every student of homeopathy, whenever he sees a patient with warts, his first line of treatment will be Thuja. And Thuja, it does work. No, I don't say that it doesn't work, but there are other remedies also for warts, like warts on the face is causticum, warts, spongy warts like very soft and spongy warts is Dalkamara, and the hard dark warts are Thuja. So every time for the wart also a couple of remedies, but naturally we think of even as a student, even as a student, me, I had used Puja. Before, that was the only remedy which I had known, and I used to use Puja for this type of things. Then about the teeth, Puja has got this teeth. The crown remains intact, and the root there's a there's a caries of the root, and the crown remains intact. That's why if you see the teeth looks very fine, but whenever he or she has got takes cold water, there's a pain in the root of the teeth, and when you try to examine with the surgeons, I mean dentist, go to a dentist, they'll say that the root are decaying, whereas the teeth remain the same. So as I told you very much, Suja has got peculiar complaints which we never think of why they are there, but this is again a very complaint. Like half of the body will sweat, half of the body won't sweat. Ardhanari Nateshwar, we call it half lady, half gent, but of course not. This is not Ardhanari Nateshwar, but like half the body will sweat and half the body won't sweat. So then we have this what we call the dandruff. Dandruff also is nothing but the dryness of the scalp, and the scalp is coming out. So whenever we have dandruff, heavy dandruff with itching on the head, so this is also again dandruff is a covered part. This eruptions under the covered part, and we think of Thuja whenever the eruptions are under the covered part. So now I am and then, of course, he has got a great desire for cold food and cold drinks and so on. So these are all theoretical symptoms which you can read. I am just giving you the clinical picture of Thuja, and now I am unmuting you all, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, madam, इथे unmute नहीं क्यों? आहे?
Sir,
Yes. Just
can we
just a moment.
can we think? Yeah.
Just, झालं?